The chance that the nonprofit service provider would get sued because of making a social MOOC is unlikely, but not impossible. We explained many risk scenarios earlier on. Those are the risks that you can run into if you don't have proper risk planning. And when those risks materialize, the consequences may be very damaging to your project, but usually won't lead to a disaster. A litigation risk, however, even though rare for a social MOOC, could possibly take down the sponsoring organization. We single out this type of risk both because of its possibly devastating effect and because it can easily be avoided when precautionary measures have been properly taken. The precautionary measures we want to emphasize here are: number 1, do not give medical or legal advice to any individual participating in your course. This is especially important for people who offer MOOCs on health and legal rights issues to raise public awareness. Although you set out to give general information and talk about issues based only on your own sound knowledge in the field, you may be asked to analyze individual situations by course members. When it comes to health promotion topics, we should never help diagnose anyone enrolled in the course, nor give treatment suggestions, and never recommend any medications, prescription or over-the-counter, to any individuals. When the methods of diagnosis and treatment options are covered in the course contents, it's always advisable to add a statement saying you should always consult your physician about your condition and treatment options and follow the medical advice given by qualified healthcare professionals. The same rule should be upheld for social MOOCs that advocate for the legal rights of vulnerable populations. You will encounter a lot of questions from the participants asking for legal opinions on their individual situations. Again, other than talking about the issues in general and talking about published cases, it's not our role to discuss any cases that are yet to be presented in the court or are in the process of being heard. Not only should the instructors and mentors toe the line very carefully, but we should also formally discourage anyone in the course community from giving legal or medical advice to other members on our course platform. They can talk about their own cases and experiences, but must not advise anyone else. Precautionary measure number 2. Post a legal disclaimer for your course. A legal disclaimer is generally needed in courses that are on topics related to health, safety, legal, and regulatory issues. You should add the legal disclaimer right in the course introduction and at the beginning of the forum. It is important for the disclaimer to clarify the roles of you and your course team and what the course is intended for and what it is not intended for. I have included a few sample legal disclaimers in the toolbox for your reference. Precautionary measure number 3. Protecting minors in your course. From our experience with social MOOCs, the MOOC communities are generally safe and people tend to be helpful and friendly compared to other social media groups. However, since most open learning platforms do not verify the learner's identity, you can never know who these people really are. If your course is designed to attract young participants, it's your legal and moral responsibility to protect these young people, especially if your target audience includes legal minors. You should always remind them to protect their privacy and build trust based only on verified identities. It might be necessary to designate a full section in your course to talk about internet safety. Precautionary measure number 4, watching the language. It's probably needless to mention that the instructors of a social MOOC should refrain from using profanity and offensive and defamatory language. That's just common sense. What is more necessary to emphasize here is to be sensitive to the gender, cultural, and religious differences of our participants. Do not make comments that could be interpreted as racist, sexist, ageist, homophobic, or otherwise discriminatory. For advocacy type of social MOOCs, when an issue concerns a living person, a brand, or an active political group, we should only state things based on published statistics and verified facts. Name-calling is too low for social MOOC, and the use of malicious alternative facts may leave your organization vulnerable to charges of libel. You need to be more cautious with the contents you put on the internet than with what you include in an in-person workshop. In a massive open online course, everything is scaled up, including what used to be forgivable mistakes in an in-person setting. A video can go viral and cannot be taken back when poor judgment is made, and controversies could spiral out of control. The fifth and final litigation risk we should not overlook is the copyright issue. In Module 4, I pointed out the importance of making sure none of your contents, including images, constitute any type of copyright infringement. Some of us tend to think that no one would sue us because 1. We don't make money out of this. 2. We don't have money to pay a settlement. Well, a law is a law, and no one, even a charitable organization, can be excused for breaking a law. There's too much at stake for our organizations to be dragged into a lawsuit. Why take a chance? I have listed a few websites where you can find free images and background music that are listed under various Creative Commons licenses that are safe to be used in your MOOCs. Check them out.